You already know what's wrong. That's the part nobody talks about. You don't need someone to explain your problem to you. You've explained it to yourself 1,000 times, lying in bed at 2 a.m., running the same thought in circles, sitting at your desk, staring at a blank screen, having an entire conversation in your head about what you should do, how you should do it, what could go wrong, what people might think, whether you're ready, whether it's worth it, and nothing happens. Nothing moves. You just think and think and think some more. That is your life right now? And somewhere inside you, you already know it's costing you everything. Here is what's strange about overthinkers. You are not unintelligent. In fact, you are probably more intelligent than most people around you. You see angles others miss. You consider consequences others ignore. You think in layers, in possibilities, in what-ifs. That mind of yours is genuinely powerful. But right now, that power is being used against you. The very thing that could build your life is the thing quietly destroying your days. And you feel it, don't you? You feel the weight of it every single morning. Let me tell you what your days actually look like, not what you tell people, what actually happens. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, your brain is already running, already calculating, already worrying about the day ahead. You think about the email you need to send, but you're not sure how to word it, so you'll do it later. You think about the assignment, the project, the goal sitting in the corner of your life like something you keep meaning to deal with. You think about it. You don't do it. You open your phone instead. Not because you want to, but because thinking is exhausting and scrolling is easy, and for a few minutes everything inside your head goes quiet. But it doesn't stay quiet. An hour passes. You are waiting for certainty in a world that does not offer it, and the brutal truth is this. The people moving forward around you, the ones building things, finishing things, shipping things, they are not more certain than you. They are not less afraid. They are not somehow immune to doubt. They just stopped treating uncertainty as a reason to wait. They made peace with the fact that the fog doesn't lift before you start walking. The fog lifts because you start walking. That is the only way it works. But you have been standing still so long, waiting for clear skies that never come. Let's talk about what overthinking actually costs you. Not in vague terms, in real terms. Every hour you spend in your head replaying a decision you already made is an hour you are not building something. Every night you lie awake reconstructing a conversation, wondering if you said the wrong thing, imagining how it might have gone differently, is a night your body doesn't rest and your mind doesn't reset. Every time you see someone else making progress, and instead of getting inspired you get swallowed by comparison, you are handing them more distance, more time, more ground that you will then have to work harder to close. The overthinking is not preparing you for the future. It is consuming the present. And here is something you need to sit with. The version of you that stays in your head, the one that knows exactly what to say, has the perfect response, makes the right move at the right time. That version is fictional. That version never has to face the messiness of real action. That version never stumbles in front of anyone, never sends an imperfect email, never starts a project that turns out harder than expected. That version is safe because that version is imaginary. But you are not imaginary. You are real. And real things require real action. Imperfect, uncertain, uncomfortable action. The question is not whether you're capable of that action. You are. The question is whether you are willing to stop hiding inside the version of yourself that never has to try. Think about something you have been putting off, not for a week, something you have been carrying around for months, maybe longer, something you told yourself you would do when you were more prepared, more ready, more sure. Think about how many times you have started that thing in your head, how many times you have planned it, mapped it, imagined the obstacles, imagined the outcome, rehearsed it so many times that you almost feel like you have done it, even though not a single real step has been taken. You have been living your ambitions in your imagination instead of your life, and your imagination is comfortable. Your imagination never rejects you. Your imagination always ends with you winning. But your imagination is also slowly convincing you that you are doing something when you are doing nothing. That is the deepest trap of the overthinker. Progress that only exists in your mind. A life being lived entirely in rehearsal. And if you keep rehearsing and never performing, you will one day look back and realize that the rehearsal was the whole show. Here is what I need you to understand about your mind right now. Your brain is addicted to the feeling of almost. Almost ready. Almost sure. Almost there. Because almost keeps you safe. Almost never demands proof. Almost never forces a reckoning. You can live in almost forever, comfortable in the illusion of forward motion, while the years quietly pass and nothing changes, and you get older and the gap between who you are and who you wanted to be grows wider and heavier and harder to look at directly. You know this feeling. You feel it in your chest sometimes, late at night. That hollow awareness that time is moving, whether you are moving with it or not. So what changes? What actually breaks the cycle? Not motivation. Let me be very clear about that. Motivation is not the answer for the overthinker, because you already have motivation. You have mountains of it. You want the thing. You can feel how badly you want it. That is not your problem. Your problem is that you have convinced yourself that wanting it means you need to be certain about it. That desire and doubt cannot coexist. That you should only move when everything feels aligned, when the doubts are quiet, when the plan is solid, when the fear is gone. But that combination never comes. And so you stay wanting without reaching, dreaming without building, feeling without doing. What breaks the cycle is structure, not a perfect plan. Structure, a set time, a small commitment, a specific next action. So small, it almost seems too simple to matter, but taken anyway, without waiting to feel ready. Because feeling ready is a lie your brain tells you to keep you from the exposure of real action. Readiness is not a feeling. It is a decision. You decide you are ready, and then you begin. That is all it is. When you take that first action without waiting for the fear to leave, something shifts. Not dramatically, not instantly, but something real changes. Your brain receives new information. It learns that the action happened and the threat did not materialize, that you sent the message and survived, that you started the work and it didn't destroy you. Each small action teaches your brain something that all of your thinking never could. That discomfort is survivable. That uncertainty is not danger. That imperfect action creates more real safety than perfect planning ever will. But you have to take the action to teach it that. You cannot think your way to that lesson. You have to live it. Now, I want to talk about something deeper. Because for many of you, the overthinking is not just a habit. It is a shield. You learned somewhere, maybe young, maybe through experience, that the world responds to you in ways that are unpredictable. That effort sometimes leads to embarrassment. That trying sometimes leads to being laughed at, dismissed, overlooked. And your mind, brilliant as it is, decided that the safest response was to be so prepared, so analyzed, so ready for every possibility that nothing could surprise you, nothing could catch you off guard, nothing could expose the parts of you that feel uncertain, unfinished, not quite enough. Your overthinking is not just procrastination. It is protection, and that is worth acknowledging because it means something real built it. You are not broken. You are defended. But here is what that defense is costing you now. The armor that once protected you is now imprisoning you. The walls that kept pain out are also keeping growth out. The thinking that once kept you safe is now keeping you small. And small is not who you are supposed to be. You were not built to think about your potential. You were built to become it. Those are two very different things. One happens in your head. The other happens in your life. Look at the people around you who seem to have it together, not the polished version they present on social media. Look at what they actually do in their ordinary days. They are not sitting still. They are not waiting. They are moving through uncertainty the way you move through traffic, adjusting, adapting, not stopping because the road isn't perfect. They have learned the one thing that changes everything. That clarity comes from action, not from preparation for action. You will not figure it out in your head. You will figure it out by doing it, by trying it, by starting badly and improving, by making the call, sending the draft, showing up imperfectly, and discovering that the world does not end, and people do not hate you, and you are more capable than the voice in your head has been telling you. And that voice, let's talk about that voice. The one that always has a reason to wait. The one that points out everything that could go wrong. The one that replays your past failures at maximum volume and whispers your future ones with perfect detail. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is fear wearing the costume of reason. Fear is very good at dressing up as logic. It says things that sound smart. It builds cases that feel airtight. It tells you that you are being careful, thoughtful, responsible. But underneath all of that language, it is just afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of discovery, afraid that if you actually try and it doesn't work, you will have to face a truth about yourself that you have been avoiding by never really trying. And that is the core of it, right there. That is the thing you have been protecting yourself from this whole time. What if I try and it's not enough? What if I give it everything and I still fall short? What if I am not actually as capable as I need to be to get the thing I want? Those questions are terrifying. I understand that. But here is what I need you to hear. The only way you answer them is by moving, not by thinking, by doing. Because right now, you are carrying the weight of those questions every single day without any of the answers. You are living with the fear of trying without any of the data that trying would give you. You are paying the full price of the risk without ever taking the chance. That is the worst possible deal. Fear without discovery, pain without progress, Take the step. Not because you are certain, not because you are ready, because not taking it is already hurting you, because the version of your life that exists on the other side of that step is worth whatever discomfort exists between here and there, because you have been standing at this edge long enough, and the hesitation has become its own kind of suffering. You are tired. Not from doing too much, from holding back too much, from suppressing the part of you that wants to move, wants to build, wants to show up and try and fail and learn and try again and actually live inside your potential instead of just thinking about it from a safe distance. That part of you is still there. It is not given up. It shows up every time you feel that pull towards something bigger. Every time you imagine the life you actually want. Every time you close your phone and feel that quiet frustration with yourself. That is not failure talking. That is the real you, pressing against the walls you built around it. Asking to be let out. Let it out. Stop managing your life from inside your head and start living it with your hands, with your voice, with your choices, with your actual presence in the actual moment. One task, one decision, one step taken before you are ready, before the fear is gone, before the plan is perfect. The plan will never be perfect. The fear will not disappear before you act. Readiness is not a feeling. It is a choice you make when you decide that movement matters more than certainty. Make that choice today. Not tomorrow, when you have thought about it more. Not next week, when things settle down. Today, this moment, whatever the smallest possible action is that moves you 1 inch forward. Take it. Don't deliberate. Don't renegotiate with the voice that wants you to wait. Just take it. Because here is the last thing I want you to understand. Your life is not waiting for you to figure everything out. It is happening right now. Every day you spend in preparation is a day that has passed. Every week you spend planning instead of doing is a week that does not come back. The time is moving. The clock is not your enemy, but it is not your ally either. It is neutral. It simply passes. What you fill it with is entirely up to you. You can fill it with more thinking, more planning, more almost, more someday. Or you can fill it with something real, something that matters, something built from imperfect action and honest effort, and the willingness to be seen, to be wrong, to begin again. That is what the people you admire chose. Not certainty, action, not perfection, movement, not readiness, courage. And courage is not the absence of overthinking. Courage is taking the step while the overthinking is still happening. It is doing the thing the voice says to wait on. It is choosing your future over your fear, your growth over your comfort, your actual life over the one you keep living in your head. You are not too far gone. You are not too deep in the pattern. You are not beyond this. But you are the only one who can change it. No video, no insight, no moment of clarity will do it for you. Understanding is just the beginning. The rest is yours to make. So stop reading your future like a story you're afraid to start. Pick up the pen. Write the first line. Messy, uncertain, imperfect. And then the second line. And then the third. That is how lives are built. Not in the mind, in the world. One real move at a time. Yours is waiting. Now, go make it.